guys, it's Lisa from A Bag Lady Journals. Today I have sort of a fun, quick flip of a sampling of my tarot journals. And this was my very first one. And I was my first sort of study of traditional tarot cards. My very first deck, which was the Rider-Waite original that I bought in New Orleans. So much fun. And then these, I had one other one in between, which I think I've already done a flip through of here. And then I had these two that, I think I did these each within like, yeah, these went through pretty quick. I think I was finished those in a couple of months. And then I started this one last summer. So this one I've been in almost, yeah, I guess getting close to a year. I think it was July that I had started this. I found this book at, of all places, HomeSense, and it was on the discount. And I thought, oh, Happy Planner, I've got to get it. I'll find a way to use it. I will. And I was using a different, I was actually using this as a tarot journal. So I've had this one also in between everything. And this was a paint sample book that I just adapted into a tarot journal. So that was the one I used before this one. Okay, so quick shout out and thank you to Gwen the Trash Witch, who is our lovely hostess of Friday Flip Throughs. And check her out. She has some gorgeous books that she flips through on Fridays. And she follows some very interesting journal prompts and makes some really fun journals. So yeah, check her out. She's wonderful. And let's start with this one. I just literally finished this book, you know, today, I think it was. Yes, this morning. So one thing that I have a Happy Planner that I use as an agenda that I, write down my appointments and what I do. And these heavy duty plastic covers are great for agendas. I don't know, they lack a bit of warmth for an actual journal like this type of journal. It is pretty. There's just a little bag I made. I put some images that I might have taken from different tarot decks and put them in there. Anyway, so yeah, aside from that little thing that I noticed, it's been a wonderful journal. It's got these natural dividers with a different sentiment on each page. So this would be my summer section. I ended up kind of going from season to season with these tabs. So just universal kind of reminders of the stars and the universe, the power of the universe, which I think really suits tarot. And to start, I just made this collage page. These are a representation of all the different decks that I have. This one is actually a oracle deck that I made myself. So that's actually made by me. It's really cute. Yeah, so we have a little bit of variety there just to kind of show, and then onto this side as well. So that's turned out pretty, I think. And then, so on the first page, I just kind of started with a welcome for myself, and then what the purpose is, to have fun, to care for myself, to think deeper, to pray, to express gratitude. Those were sort of what I was planning to use this journal for, and I did. And then reason why, and to meditate, to light candles before dark, to ask questions. So yes, I would say that I did all of those things. I also added a little bit of dream, just writing down what my dreams were, if they were sort of interesting or vivid. And this book, I liked the size, like there was lots of space for writing, so that was kind of nice. So I'm not going to take a lot of time on each page or anything. This is just sort of to give you a quick flip through. So you'll see that some pages have more writing. Many have tarot spreads that, or, you know, tarot picks. And then I sort of, you know, will do a little summary of the picks and how they might be, how those cards might be applying or giving me a message in whatever's going on in my, at my point, or at a certain point. I did get this deck, oh yeah, the Halloween Forever deck, in October, and I really enjoyed it. It's just, it's actually reads very deep. I was a little bit pleasantly surprised by that deck. So yes, I really have enjoyed that, and I'll probably get it out again. It's been put away for a while. And just a page to breathe. Sometimes I just do extra paint if I'm working on something, and I'll just have this journal beside it and just throw the paint on so that there's a little bit of color here and there. This is definitely, oh, I made a note here. Grandma loved the beach. The ocean and the beach. This was around my grandma's birthday, and I did a little card draw and some candles and music and a meditation just to sort of honor her memory. And this is the Dark Magic Oracle. Sometimes I like to take a card and just recreate it in my own drawing and watercolor, which is what I did here for the card Fly. And I thought it went quite nicely with this image of a butterfly. This is a nothing page. I just put sparkles down, and then I decided, oh, I'll just put some tape over top and just let it be the way it is. It's kind of a nice little breathing space again. And that was another thing I liked about this book, and the size of it is I didn't worry about crowding my writing in or the spreads. You know, I could just really take up as much space as I wanted to. Now we're getting into winter. Don't ever stop looking to the stars. And I did sort of another, I think what I chose is the star card for my 2026 focus. And honestly, other than doing this, I don't think I really followed up with it. But I like how this page turned out. It's a good reminder. And again, with this kind of happy planner, you can, like with the hole puncher that I bought, I can add different types of, you know, papers, which is nice. So it's not all the happy planner pages, but this is kind of a nice wintry, cozy page, I thought. And this is a download from Molly Roberts, Winter Grimoire entries to grow your magic, which I thought was kind of sweet. Here's the same. Getting close to Christmas now with the Yule Art Oracle. Word for 2020. My word for 2026 was bold, fearless and daring and courageous. Synonym, brave. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure that I have lived up to that, and we're already in almost halfway through the year. But, you know, good intentions. It's a good reminder to flip through. It's going to be okay. Sometimes it's just nice to have a big message. Archangel Oracle. This paper takes watercolor very nicely, and acrylic and markers, acrylic paint and markers of all different kinds. I believe the Sharpies still bleed through this this paper, but it's pretty thick. Now we're into spring, the spring solstice. Stay in your magic. Spring kickoff. Into a little bit of crystal grid study and how to utilize crystals a little more. So that was fun, just doing some drawings and watercolor, very meditative, relaxing kind of work. And then I went into crystals with the moon phases, so that was nice too, or interesting. And it's always good to learn new, or even be reminded of new ways to practice your own magic, meditation. I did a little bit of refresher on the my birth chart. My son's girlfriend had done up a really nice detailed written piece to go along with an image, and I just didn't quite understand all because it had a lot of detail, and so I just kind of went and looked up a few more things just to understand better, and made some notes here just to understand better, like what is the moon sextile, the moon trine. I didn't know what those were, so so anyway, that was kind of helpful, and again, just sort of a nice way to just sort of a nice way to study, I guess, a little bit. These kind of books are good for that. This kind of journal, I should say. That's from a coloring book. I just colored and cut it out. I like that. I like adding little coloring page pieces to a journal. And this is just some journaling. A little image. I don't know where this image, why I drew this, but it was almost like a, what do you call it? Like a subconscious drawing. I just started making marks with the felt pen, and I just kind of, I don't know where this came from, but it's definitely me and my kids. So it's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny how that can happen sometimes with drawing, and just not starting to draw, but without really knowing what you're going to draw. You'd be surprised what comes out. So that's kind of interesting. And that is the last page of my latest tarot journal. So it's pretty thick. And like I say, I've almost been in this for almost a year, not quite. And I was just going to really quickly just show you these two. I just got these notebooks at the grocery store, and the paper was really, really nice. It took acrylic paint really well. And I think this one was the first one. And I started this in, I think, January of 2025. And I had used it for something else. And what I did was I just painted over whatever I had started with that I didn't want. And now I'm using it for morning pages, dreams, intuition, magic, oracle, tarot cards. And this went from January 1st to February 28th. So I went through it pretty quickly. And I love how this turned out. It feels nice. It's quite layered with pens and markers on top of paint. Lots of nice copies of tarot card images. So I'll just do a little flip. And it just feels so nice. It's like juicy to see. In the back, I just did like a palettes and, you know, drawings over top of writing, crows. That was that one. And this one I used for the same purpose. I just simply had this on the upstairs, like by my bedroom, like for my morning coffee, and I could use it for morning pages, dreams, and I always had a deck handy. So this one's not quite as much paint, but not quite as layered. And that's that one. And now I just wanted to show you my next tarot journal, which I'm quite excited about. It is, I found this in December and I bought it and I thought, what am I going to use this for? But look, isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. Let me just see here, because it's probably a little bit distracting with all those, with that painting underneath. But it's a nice big size. It's bigger. It's narrower, but the same height as the Happy Planner. So lots of room for writing and just a beautiful, gorgeous cover. And it is lined, which is great. So good for writing, good for putting images on, paint. So yeah, just wanted to show you, look at this. Just wanted to show you, it's a Paper Blanks. I got it at a bookstore. And it is just beautiful. So I'll be starting on that this week. I'm really, really excited. To all you journal lovers, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your taking time. And thanks again to Gwen the Trash Witch, who is our hostess of Flip Through Friday. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.